guys, and welcome back to part 4 of my Sims speed build. So today we're just going to be finishing off the kitchen, because we didn't quite finish in the last video, the kitchen, and then we're going to be focusing on the rest of the downstairs. So we're going to be sorting out the living room and also the dining room area, which isn't too big, to be honest. It's just literally a table next to the kitchen, and that's it. Just throwing in some counters there. Wasn't entirely sure what kind of colours I wanted to go with in the kitchen, but I did want to have it, still have a modern feel and vibe. So we do sort out some colours that I think worked really well in the end to make it have a nice vibe, and to, it suits the rest of the house really well. So I'm quite pleased with how it turned out. So we're just choosing the colours. At first I was going to stick with black and white, just because, in most modern houses, everything's quite black and white, or dark greys, or blues and stuff like that. But I didn't want to kind of go with your traditional modern house. I kind of wanted to put my own touch, just a little bit, to, the inside of the house. So I decided to go with these brown cabinets, countertops, which I think look really good. Once I, changed the flooring near the kitchen and also changed the wallpaper, you'll see it just come to life, and it looks so much better than what it does now. So very, very pleased. Just changing that colour to the darker ones. Still having the brown in it though. So now we're just changing flooring in the kitchen. And I left it like this. I think I changed it to a darker shade of floor. But it matches the kitchen really well. Once I put the lights in, and put also a couple of miscellaneous items in there, everything just falls into place and looks fantastic. So just placing some cupboards now. I was having a little bit of difficulty placing that cupboard in just because it wouldn't stay. Whenever I pull it close to the wall, it just would flip on the other side. So I was literally there for maybe about 5 minutes just to, trying to get it in place. It just would not sit. It might have been actually because I have a window there. I didn't actually think of that before, but that could have been the reason why it didn't work. But I did manage to put it there in the end, but it just took such a long time for me to try and try and get it in there. But in the end, I did manage to fit it in, and it looked, really nice. I was gonna leave it and just place cupboards along that wall and not the other side, but I did want to have cupboards going all around that wall, just so that it kind of filled out the kitchen a little bit more, and made it look more like a kitchen. Because, the kitchen is small as it is already, and there isn't any walls separating it from the rest of the house, so it's kind of just like an open plan, space area. So I did want to make it look, as much as a kitchen as possible. So we're just putting in the essentials inside the kitchen. Can't do without a coffee maker. And of course you always need a bin. And we're just throwing in the small dining table. So this is the small dining area where your Sims can get to dine, eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. It is small, but I figured it's a 3-bedroom house. It doesn't need to be huge, and also it's kind of more of a starter home. When you're just maybe started out with 3 Sims or something like that, you can just move your Sims in here, and it's perfect for that. But obviously, if you want something a lot bigger, then this house probably isn't the thing that you want. So just placing in some miscellaneous items just to try and fill out the kitchen and make it look, like a kitchen. I didn't like the wallpaper that I had at the back. I just thought it didn't look nice. So I changed it to the one that I've got now, and I think it just looks so much better. But then the flooring was too dark, so I changed the flooring colour. So in the end, I think this house, the price of it, I think, is like £100,000 or something like that. It is expensive. Ideally, I did want to kind of stick with the 20,000 mark, but that just was not going to happen. So sorry guys, it is a little bit expensive, and you may have to do a cheat just to get your Sims to move in here, unless you have super rich Sims that you planning to move in already. But otherwise, I'm sorry. So busting my brain trying to think what color to put inside the living room. I didn't like the blue, so I went with red instead. And I think it just brings out the kitchen, makes it look so much nicer, and I'm really glad the colour worked so well in there. And we just stick some black flooring inside the rest of the house, well, on the downstairs level anyways. In fact, I think I do bring it upstairs as well eventually. I wanted to do something funky with that wall because it just looked bland. So I had a brain, my brain was doing overtime, and I was like, why not just put some windows there? That might look nice, You could see when you come in, see straight in through to the kitchen. It's kind of unusual. You don't really see windows inside a house like that. But I figured, why not? So let me know what you guys think of the new expansion pack of this spa day. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I haven't had any issues with it. I think it's fantastic. I love all of the objects and everything that the pack has brought us. I think it's amazing. I don't think we had anything quite like it in The Sims 3. There was places where you could go that was like a spa, but to actually have an expansion pack, specifically dedicated to spa and relaxation and things, I think is just so cool. And I do intend to use it a lot in my Let's Plays. Which, by the way, I do plan on doing Let's Plays also, so, if you want to see some Let's Plays, just let me know, I'll throw some in there as well. Just because I think it'll be fun. I've got this really cool family that I'm thinking of playing with, and I might actually move them into this house. That could be a really good idea. Yeah, I might do that. Move them into this house just to see what happens. Yeah. Well, let me know what you guys think about that, and I'll definitely do it. So just putting in some shoes racks and a little coat hanger and stuff. Putting a carpet in there because the floor was just so bare. I needed something there. But unfortunately, I couldn't find any carpets that I liked, so I kind of went with these little round ones. Looking at that, I just don't know why I changed it to that colour, to be honest. It looks so ugly. But I do change it back to white, so don't worry. It doesn't stay like that. I was actually going to leave it like that, the two dark browns and then you have the matcha brown. I was seriously going to leave it like that, but then on second glance I was like, it's a little bit too dark for the floor, I think, so, we switch it back to white. So this is a living room space. It is very small, but, because of how I was thinking to do the bedrooms, have their own TVs and stuff, I didn't think there was any need to have a massive living room space. Usually, if I put TVs inside the bedrooms, the living room space is kind of smaller, just because if your Sims are going to watch TV, you could probably have them watch TV in their room, or if they're downstairs, there's still going to be enough space for them. And also, just because the downstairs area was kind of small as it is already, because I had a toilet down there. I mean, you guys can always take the toilet out and just expand the living room area. But having said that, I do actually move the kitchen forward by a square, so that does kind of make the living room space just a little bit bigger. But you'll see me do that in a minute anyway. So we're just adding some wall art to this room, because it's an office, but it was looking super bland, and I was thinking we need to spice it up with some more stuff in there. So just more junk and clutter. I just love junk and clutter in rooms. I just think if it looks boring, throw some junk in there and I'll bring it out. Although I do try to limit as much clutter, because then if you use too much, it looks too cluttered. So you kind of have to get a balance right. I'm just adding some final pieces to the kitchen. I couldn't find the picture with the logs in it, so I was trying to think what else could I put inside the office, because I couldn't find it at first. I just couldn't remember where I saw it. It was in like debug items, but then when I checked there, I don't know if I was just being super blind, but I just could not see it. So that was kind of annoying me. But then I find it, so then I was like, okay, yeah, cool. Gonna keep that, but then I'm just gonna still put some of these certificates up, because it's an office. Make it look like the person has won some awards or whatever. So yeah, that's the office. So you can see how cramped the living room space is. So I had no choice but to bring the kitchen forward, which you'll see me do in a minute. Just trying to get a nice colour for the couch. I wasn't really sure what colour to put there. But I do change it to red. This was where I was like, yeah, it's too small. I wasn't happy with the armchair just being there. I just thought that just looked so weird. With just one settee and an armchair. So I was like, okay, we need to move the kitchen forward a little bit, and then we'll have enough space to put another couch next to the settee, the red sofa. But don't worry, the kitchen's still nice and big, because I do move that wall forwards, the one with the two windows. I do move that wall forwards to give the kitchen more space. But yeah, as you see me do now, kitchen more space, living room more space, and yeah, which I actually think looked better. So in some aspects, it looks better. Just making sure the rest of the outside looks good. And sorting out any little rooms and walls that I didn't need. So I'm curious what you guys think will be the next expansion pack. I know that now they've got stuff pack, so there's probably going to be another stuff pack before we have another expansion pack of some kind. But I'm curious, what do you guys want to see next? Like, what would you want The Sims for to kind of to bring us next? Me personally, I don't know. I think. Do you know, I would love to see something like them bring cars. I mean, I know you can't get to drive like how you could in The Sims 3, with the cars. But I think if they at least gave us the option to have like a variety of cars, we could, I would certainly make garages or driveways when I make houses, and then just throw a car in there. But then they could also, put the option, if you click on the car, you can go shopping or, whatever, go to someone's house. So I think they should do something like that. I mean, obviously there's nothing major, it's just, adding cars in, but I think that would be a good idea. Because sometimes, designing houses in The Sims 3, I'm so used to just naturally putting a car outside, making a separate driveway or making a separate garage. And I know I've seen people add the toy cars and like enlarge them so that they look more like an actual car, and make driveways with that. But I kind of don't see the point in doing that because you're not going to get to use it, so it's just going to be there simply for, aesthetic purposes, and I didn't really want to do that just for the sake of doing it. So I wanted to be able to, it would be nice if we could put cars in that the Sims could actually use, rather than it just being there for the sake of being there. But enough babbling on. This is pretty much the end result of how the kitchen looks. As you saw, I kind of just extended some of the counters to kind of close off this area. So, which I think was a really, really good idea, to be honest, because now the kitchen is still open, but at the same time it's kind of closed off, and there's more seating space for your Sims. So fantastic. And I just threw in a larger table because you kind of could now that we had more space. And now we're just getting a couch in. So much more space now. I just realized the TV disappeared, so I had to put it back again. And I think it's because I had the move objects cheat on, and whenever you like adjust the wall or something, it automatically, just makes the objects disappear that you've used move objects on, or if you've enlarged them slightly, they just disappear completely. So I had to put the TV back. I do actually put it back a few times because it just keeps on happening. And then in the end, I just wait until I've finalized everything and then put the TV back. So just deciding what kind of colour couches to go with in the area, because it's so small. I didn't want to choose colours that would clash with the wall, but I also wanted to try and choose colours that I thought, would work well with the area, and kind of blend into the kitchen also. So I'll leave it as red and cream. Although now looking at it, maybe leaving it as the red and grey would have been nice, but whatever. You guys can change it if you like. I was gonna do a crazy thing and go with and just be all colourful and go with red and yellow, but then I was like, nah, that just looks too weird. And I was gonna go with black and green. I was gonna go with colours that kind of contrast the red and make it look nice, but then I saw how it looked and I wasn't happy, so I just had to leave it, or how it was. So just thrown in some art. One thing for sure that I think we could definitely do with is some more art. I don't think there's enough pictures. on the to choose from. There just isn't enough. Because I know in The Sims 3 there was, you know, quite a large variety of picks to choose from. So yeah, I think if they were to make another stuff pack, they should, you know, maybe incorporate some more pictures, because that would just be fantastic. So we're just putting on some flowers at the side. Well, you know, some plants, just to kind of make the living room area kind of nice. It was looking a little bit bland and dry, so you know, I wanted to make it look a little bit more eye-popping, or popping to the eye. So I'm trying to be creative with these carpets, because there wasn't a carpet that I found that I really liked. So I was like, you know, trying to make a nice, cool pattern with it. It didn't really look nice, so I changed it. Just because it was really spaced out weird. Obviously, the one closer to the door is different from the one closer to the beginning part of the kitchen, but yeah, it just looked really weird. So I think I spaced them out a little bit better, the carpets, or do I leave them like that? I can't actually remember now. I'm just finding some random objects to put inside the living room space, but I was trying to find some things. Oh, that's what they need as well. Telephones, because there are no telephones. Like, I know Sims now have a mobile phone, so you kind of don't need telephones, but you know, I always used to put a telephone on the coffee table in The Sims 3 when I used to build houses. So now I don't know what to put there. You know, I usually just put a couple of books there, maybe like a flower or something, or, you know, cup. But it just, you know, I'm so used to putting telephones or, you know, some kind of device there. I think in this one I just left it bland without anything on it, just because I didn't know what to put there. Alright guys, well that's it for part 4, so I'll see you guys in the next part, where we should be finishing off just the downstairs, and then we'll head up to the second floor. Alright, so see you guys, bye!